So today we're gonna make beef jerky with ground beef and teriyaki marinade.
Who's out on a run is CoCo. She's always having fun is CoCo. Her adventures big and small, she'll take us through all crazy adventures of CoCo.
We showed this already once before, we just forgot to show how it was made. Super easy. You just take the ground beef and you put it in the bag. Then you add your marinade, just enough to cover the meat. Probably, I use about half the bottle probably. And that looks like a lot, but once the meat gets all mixed in, it'll be perfect. All right, so there it is, all mushed in. And then I'm just gonna put this in the fridge and let it sit overnight for about 12 to 24 hours. The longer the better, the more the marinade will soak into the meat. Hamburger, you're good with 24 hours. If you're doing steak, you'd wanna leave it in there even longer. We used about 6 ounces of this marinade. Okay, so the jerky's been marinating in the fridge for about 24 hours in that sauce. And so now we're ready to make the jerky. We're gonna put it in the tube and show you how we do that. All right, so Mitch is gonna load it up.
So first you gotta hold this button in. That kind of releases this part. I like to put it back, not all the way or it gets stuck, but about like that. And then I think we'll start with the big one. That goes on like that and screws on the end. It's on. And then you got to get ready to get messy. I've not found a non-messy way of doing this, so you just got to get messy and clean up afterward. I try to pack it in there with my finger a little bit. You don't want to fill it all the way full, and I'll show you why when we get it full enough. Okay. You want to leave about that much space in there so that this white piece has room to fit in. Otherwise you'll start putting this together and it'll squish it out at the end before you're ready. Screw it on. Okay.
When you're using the dehydrator for the beef, you wanna do 160.
Okay, and then you just start going. I like to kind of start on the edge of the side. Pack it. It kind of squishes out. I don't like to make them very long, so I just go a couple inches. About 2 squirts is what I like, or clicks.
So why do you put the parchment paper underneath it?
It saves a lot of cleanup. You still have to wash the trays after, but it's a lot less bad, and the jerky doesn't stick at all. So you can easily flip it halfway through the time if you feel like you want to. The instructions on my dehydrator said you didn't need to flip, but I still like to halfway just to make sure it's even. And you do want to make sure that they're not. Any part that's touching another piece will take twice as long to dry. So you want to make sure they're not touching. And it's empty. And then you just gotta fill it up and do it all over again until you're out of meat.
Sounds good. Okay, it's been in the dehydrator for about 4 hours, and so now we're going to flip it.
And that's how easy it is with parchment paper. It doesn't stick at all. You just flip it nice. And the parchment paper doesn't inhibit the dehydration at all.
So why do you flip it?
I flip it because I feel like it gives it a better chance to dry evenly. It probably isn't necessary to flip it, but I also just like to check on the progress, even though I know it for me and this dehydrator, it always takes about 8 hours. But I still like to check on the progress. It's exciting. I'm always ready to eat it.
All right, we'll come back when it's finished. So let's check it out. Looks so good. All right, so now we're just gonna bag it up. Oh, it's kind of firm. You like it that way?
I like it a little bit crunchy, kind of.
Hmm.
If you liked it chewy, you could probably do it only for 6 hours instead of 8.
Tastes delicious.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Beef jerky made from ground beef.